For those of you who are taking class with me this fall 2021 semester, today I'm going to give you an overview about how we're going to be using Trello. Hello and welcome to In the Classroom, an educational podcast making teaching and learning more transparent. My name is Benjamin Stewart at benjaminlstewart.org. Today is July 29th, 2021. Today I want to provide a little bit of information about Trello. This is the platform we're going to be using pretty much throughout the entire course. But before we get into today's topic, if anyone has any additional insights or wants to share how they're using Trello in their teaching practice, feel free to reach out to me at my Twitter handle at BNLEEZ. Today I want to talk about Trello, and I have here on my screen, if you're listening to this podcast and you want to check out the video, you can access the video in the show notes. Today I want to show you a couple of ways that we can access Trello. We're going to be using Microsoft 365 this semester, so everything will be accessible using your university account. So starting off here in Microsoft Teams, I have this pulled up on my screen, and you may be taking this class that I have up here, Listening and Speaking 1. It could also be another class, but it's basically the same concept. If you go into the page called, or the tab, Listening and Speaking 1, this is one way that you can access Trello directly within Microsoft Teams. So in addition to the posts where we'll be able to communicate back and forth in real time and also asynchronously, also we have files that we can access within Microsoft Teams. And then to the right of files, you should be able to access Trello. Now, the first time you access Trello, you may need to sign in. And I'm going to go ahead and open up my browser because you can also access this same information in Trello within Teams directly using your browser. Now, the first step when you sign in, and maybe I can show you that here, I'll go ahead and sign out. We're going to be using our university account. So in order to do that, you'll be taken to this screen here, the main page where you can sign in. You should have an option here. You can log in. Now, because this page is open to the public, anyone can access this content, but you should sign in, and you'll notice here at the top right-hand corner of your screen, if you click log in, you should then go to this screen where you have these different options. Now, what I'm going to suggest that you do is to use your Microsoft 365 account. Okay, so it's not necessary, nor is it recommended that you create a new account in Trello. You'll go down where it says continue with Microsoft, and then you should be prompted to sign in using your university account. So select work or school account, and then sign in with your username and password, and that should take you into Trello. Now, one of the first things I would recommend that you do, let me go to the board here that I had up before, Listening and Speaking. Now, I have two other courses here. If you have communicative abilities in English 1, this is what your Trello should look like. And the backgrounds could change, but basically this is the space. This is where we'll be working. And then those of you who are taking discourse analysis with me, we'll be doing the same thing. We'll be using Trello, and your page should look something like this. Okay, so one of the first things I would suggest that you do if you're using Firefox is to install an add-on that is called Strelloids. I think it's Strelloids. It's kind of a weird name there. But this is an add-on that I would suggest that you install to your Firefox browser. This will allow you to add some functionality. It'll allow you to collapse some of these lists. Now, if you're not familiar with Trello, basically we have lists that we're going to have horizontally across the screen for each week. So each week will be a week. Each list will be a week, and within each list, there are what's called cards, and these cards can be moved around, and you can open up these cards by clicking and getting the information. So basically, this is what we're going to be using, and as we're going through the different activities for each week, I'll be planning and putting information, all the content and activities and descriptions and all of the things that you're going to be that we're going to assess will be in Trello. And again, we're going to be working by week. All right, so if you install this add-on in Firefox, this will allow you to collapse these weeks. So as we move to week 1 and week 2 and so on, I think this will be an easy way you can collapse this information if you're done with that, and that will bring the current week all the way to the left. Okay, now if you do need to scroll to the right, you can by just clicking and dragging here on your screen. Now, I would also recommend that you install the Trello app for your mobile device, for your cell phone or tablet, and it's basically going to work the same way. You'll be able to access the same content with your mobile device. Now, if you're using Google Chrome, let me pull that up here. I would install the extension that's called Pro for Trello. This is a free extension for Chrome, and this also gives you different ways to view the content. So here we can select this arrow, and this moves all of the lists from a horizontal mode to a vertical mode. So now we can scroll up and down instead of from left to right. Okay, so this is another way that you can do this. And also another good option here is that you can click show all or hide all. You can actually hide different lists. Okay, this is similar to what I was showing you in Firefox, but this will allow you to not get overwhelmed by the content that's going to be populated throughout each of these lists. Okay, so you can click again where it says lists, and then you can select or deselect those lists depending on what you want to have appear in your screen. Okay, so again, this is if you are using a desktop computer. You've got some additional ways of viewing and accessing the different lists. All right, so these are the spaces that we're going to be using for the semester. And the first day of class, first few days, we'll be getting into Trello, and I'll be helping you set up an account and get into the different pages. But I wanted to provide this short overview of Trello and how we're going to be using it and where you can access the different pages. Again, you can use your browser and your desktop computer. You can use your mobile app on your phone. And of course, you can access it directly via Microsoft Teams by selecting this tab here at the top. All right, so I think we'll stop there. If you do have any questions or issues, for those of you who are taking different classes with me this semester, feel free to reach out to me. The best way is to send me direct messages via Teams. This has been In the Classroom, an educational podcast making teaching and learning more transparent. Thanks for listening.